you're an athlete, you know the importance of a strong recovery. NovaCare provides several athletic training programs geared toward athletic-related injuries and collaborates with Albert Gallatin, Uniontown, Fraser, California, Jefferson Morgan, Waynesburg, West Green, and Mapletown school districts to help student athletes stay at their best. From coordinating additional specialist care to treating on-site injuries, their experts cater to your personal needs. Specialized services include concussion diagnosis and rehabilitation and treatment for sport-specific injuries. For more information on athletic training at NovaCare, visit novacare.com or contact your local office today.
Hi, this is Rob King. You're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And welcome back to the Sportsline on this chilly Saturday morning. Open line sports talk to start things off. Your chance to get up on the soapbox and be heard. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is fair game. I'm sure we'll have some talk about Super Bowl 60 with the Seahawks and the Patriots. I'd like to know who you like in the game if you call in. And let's take our first phone call of the morning. We do have one line open if you want to jump in. Call the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. Let's go to the lines. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Good morning, George.
Good morning, Charles, our new third baseman, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How's your range at third, Charles?
That's pretty good. Pretty good. I turned the motor chair on high speed. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Hands might be a little bit of a problem. The range is good. But anyway, I'll get to the Pirates in a minute, but what a loaded obituary you had.
It was. It hit me hard because all of them I had rubbed elbows with over the years, and Mickey Lolich was one of my favorites as a young baseball fan, and of course Jurgensen. I mean, the quintessential passer. He could throw the football.
Yes, he could, but first of all, I remember Clendon Thomas playing as same defensive back at that time. Remember Brady Keys?
I certainly do. Brady Keys, all-pro fried chicken.
Yep. Brady.
The gunner started a riot at his fried chicken place in the Hill District.
Who?
Bob Prince started a riot there.
Oh.
Don't you remember that story?
No.
They're playing in extra innings in Houston. And Bob Prince remarked with Willie Stargell at the plate, spread some chicken on the hill with Will, and I'll foot the bill. Next pitch, Stargell hit it out. And they almost had a riot in the Hill District with fried chicken, and Brady Keys presented the gunner with a bill for $10,000 worth of chicken.
Open mouth, insert foot.
Right.
Anyway, Mickey, who were the other members of the Steelers defense? I know it was Clendon Thomas and Brady Keys. Who else was back there? Do you remember?
Well, I'd have to really think about that.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about those guys in a long time.
You're talking about 60, 61, 62.
Right, yeah.
But anyway, Mickey Lolich, you know, the vehicle that they should have given Mickey Lolich should have been a motorcycle, because they didn't call him Motorcycle Mick for nothing. I mean, plus, there was one other thing about a motorcycle. Some place on the front around the handlebars, they would have had to put a place for a beer mug, because, you know, Lolich liked his beer.
Oh, yeah. He had a pot belly. I mean, he didn't look like a baseball player. He had a little pot belly, but he was such a stylish pitcher. And I saw a quote from Jim Palmer. He said he beat us, and the Orioles were really good at that time. He said, we look back at the film. Only 2 pitches were in the center of the plate in the entire game from him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was just thinking, George, he did for the Tigers what Steve Blass did for the Pirates.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, Doc Ellis was supposed to, you know, be the mound leader, and he turned out to be a bust out in the series. But Blass picked it up. and everybody was, you remember back in 68, everybody was talking about McLean and Gibson.
31 victories. Denny McLean.
Yeah.
It'll never happen again. How about that inning total I gave you on the 1 year for holy
370s.
I mean, just
you'll never see that.
Where was it here? 376 innings 1 year. I mean, that'll never ever happen again.
George, the one I remember was, I think in '64, I think Drysdale put down 321 in it, you know.
Mm-hmm. But Lolich was just a stylish left-handed pitcher. And I got an interesting story. I actually was in Detroit when he still owned the donut shop. And I decided to make a pilgrimage. And I went to get donuts, and I sat down and had a cup of coffee with him.
I mean, if anybody could have portrayed Fred Flintstone, I mean, and
you know, you were talking about Thomas, Clendon Thomas. How about those Oklahoma teams that he was on with Bud Wilkinson?
Well, I was, you know, I was kind of young yet, but I remember, you know.
Well, I remember that streak, that the 47-game winning streak. You know who broke it?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, and you know who scored the winning touchdown in that game? Another great defensive back later on in the NFL, Dick Lynch. Dick Lynch, who played for the Giants.
I thought maybe Petrosani would have scored.
No, it was Dick Lynch.
Dick Lynch. Let me ask you this: that Oklahoma team, did Tommy McDonald play on that?
Yes.
Let's see. Who would have been a quarterback on it?
Well, I don't even. I've never heard the quarterback mentioned that much, so I'm not sure who it was.
One other thing about the Sooners, after Bud Wilkinson left, who replaced him? Do you know?
Chuck Fairbanks.
Oh, did Wilkinson stay around?
No, he went into broadcasting. Remember, he was in the broadcast booth.
I know, but I didn't know that Wilkinson stayed around that long until Fairbanks. Okay, yeah.
Chuck Fairbanks was the guy that replaced him.
Fairbanks coached against Bob Devaney in that historic, Junior Cornhusk. Yeah. But anyhow, and Jorgensen, you know, by the way, you know what his real name was, don't you?
Enlighten me.
Christian Adolf Jorgensen III.
But they called him Sonny.
Sonny, yeah. But what a passer he was. But you remember you remember the trade
for Norm Snead.
Snead went to Jorgensen went to Washington and Snead went to Philadelphia, I think.
And Norm Snead, in his own right, wasn't a bad player himself.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
And they both come out of the ACC.
Yeah, Snead was at Wake Forest, and Sonny Jorgensen at Duke. Yeah.
Anyway, to the Pirates, George. You know,
you're going to sour my stomach talking about this.
Well, you know, I'm not pleased with it either. They started off like there was some promise, but for Billy, it's turned into the same kind of inertia again. The job is not finished. They've taken us to the altar.
Well, the problem is, I've got it on very good authority from several baseball people that the people they said that they were in on, they had no chance of signing him. Framber Valdez had no interest in playing for the Pirates. None.
And
Suarez was going to go to Cincinnati because he didn't like the ballpark in Pittsburgh. It doesn't suit his swing. That's a cavernous left field in Pittsburgh.
And you know, he knew that the Reds were a much better organization, and he probably wanted to play for Francona.
Right.
But now I'm hearing, I don't remember their names, but two fellas from the Mets and
Vientos and Beatty, and they're going to have to pay some some capital to get either one of them. And then the other one is Paredes from Houston, and once again, his swing is not tailor-made for PNC Park. He's a pull hitter to left, and as I said, that's Death Valley in PNC Park. You know.
So you don't think they'll get any one of the three of those, do you?
I keep on hearing they're trying to swing a trade with the Astros, and the people that are giving up or supposedly giving up, I don't have a problem with. But as I said, is he going to be okay for PNC Park? And the other two guys, they can both hit. I mean, Vientos, if you remember 2 years ago, he had a tremendous season for the Mets.
Yeah, but will they? Do they want to come to Pittsburgh?
Well, that's the question.
See, that's the trouble when you have such a sorted.
Of course, if you're trading, they're not signing them as free agents. They're making trades for those guys.
No, but still, when you have such a outlandish past like the Pirates, and the Pirates have nobody to blame but themselves. They backed themselves into this corner, and they got to get out of it because there's nobody going to help them. It's as simple as that.
Well, if they go into the season with no more moves being made,
they're still the last place club.
They're just a little bit over 500, in my opinion.
Well, of course, that might get them on the fringe of the playoffs, you know, with the way it's going now. But
well, look at what some of the other teams. The Cubs have just, my goodness, the Cubs have loaded up during this offseason.
Cincinnati too.
Yeah.
George.
And the Brewers are the Brewers. You know.
I still think if the Pirates don't do anything more, they're still the last place club in that division. Or do you think they can beat out St. Louis?
Possibly. St. Louis is, I haven't liked some of the things the Cardinals have done.
But, George, I'll tell you this. Even if it's fourth place for this year, if that's all they're going to do, this is just another
Well, no,
failure.
that's another year of wasted pitching.
Yeah. Wasted Paul Skeens, and it's going to be gone. That's it. You know, we might be doomed to this for another 20 years.
Of course, I got to be honest with you. Skeen's future with Pittsburgh was sealed by that decision the other day when they gave Skubal that contract in arbitration.
Because you know,
there's no way. There's no way Boros is going to let him re-sign with Pittsburgh.
Nope. Skeens will get that much or more.
Yeah.
He might be, George, do you think he might be baseball's first billion-dollar pitcher?
It all depends on how he keeps pitching and if he avoids injury, you know. But he's certainly going to command a big payday. And that next big payday is not going to be with the Pirates.
No. George, quickly about the Super Bowl. I like Seattle.
So do I.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to see the Pats win the seventh one, but just that aside, I think Seattle is the better team. Seattle has played the tougher schedule. Ironically, the Steelers have played both of those teams.
They have, and they should have probably beaten both of them. They made a boneheaded play in the Seattle game that wound up costing them, but they beat the Patriots. Of course, they were the beneficiary of 5 turnovers in that game. You know.
And the last thing as I go out, George, I'm kind of disappointed because we're going to have no hockey for 3 weeks, you know.
Yes.
No NHL hockey for 3 weeks. Do you think Dan Muse should get more consideration for Jack Adams?
I do. I mean, nobody expected this from the Penguins. They've got 70 points in second in the Metropolitan Division as they go to this break. This break, though, I'm really concerned. It couldn't have come at a worse time.
Yes.
Because you're going to have this layoff, and then are they going to come back and play like they had been playing? It's tough to pick it up again, you know.
George. But up to now, to me, they're getting balanced scoring. They're getting scoring from the bottom six, which is what you need. Because in all the Penguins Cup years, they got a lot of clutch scoring from the third and fourth lines. You generally think your third and fourth lines are your muckers and your grinders, But then, what's amazing to me about the Penguins is that, remember, it was just about 2 or 3 years ago at the most, we thought, there didn't seem to be much down at Wilkes-Barre or Wheeling, And
to Dubas's credit, he has stockpiled draft picks, and he has used those draft picks wisely, and he's given them an infusion of younger players.
He did what the Red Wings did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, George, my time's up. But I think it's Seattle tomorrow. But I'll be interested in listening to LeBeau. Sure.
Coach LeBeau will be with me at 11:30, and I'm sure he'll have an interesting breakdown of the game. He's always very good at breaking down games like that.
Yeah. Well, thanks, George. We'll catch you next week.
All right, take care. And that frees up both of our phone lines this morning. Do come ahead with your questions and comments. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is on the docket. Simply pick up your phone, dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593, 724-438-4593. Give us a call. You should have no problems getting through. We'll be back in a jiffy.
Valentine's Day's coming up, and nothing says Be My Valentine quite like flowers from Miller's Greenhouses and Flower Shop. Choose from fresh floral arrangements starting at just $30 or classic roses starting at $55 a dozen. Want to really impress? Call early and have Valentine's flowers delivered right to her workplace. Miller's Greenhouses and Flower Shop in Smithfield. Open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 to 5. Call 724-564-2696.
You may have noticed a new internet company knocking at your door with claims like, "I'm not here to sell you anything," or "I wouldn't lie to you." The truth is, Armstrong has played an important role in your community for decades, and we're not going anywhere. That new internet provider will probably change their name, get bought out by another company, or fold completely. Armstrong, the internet you count on, the people you trust. Visit ArmstrongOneWire.com today or anytime in the future.
Fallen in love with a house? Head over heels for a home plan? Take the plunge. Apply for a mortgage loan with First Federal Savings and Loan of Greene County. Feeling commitment shy? Complete a mortgage pre-qualification. It's simple. 100% online, and you'll get a personalized answer within 1 business day. Then save the date for a move-in day or groundbreaking and put a key ring on it. Apply online at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 458729.
At Live, we want to say thanks to our community with our biggest giveaway yet. Thanks a Million free slot play giveaway. Join us every Friday in February for your chance to win a share of $1 million in free play, including a grand prize of $25,000 in free play. You could be one of 10 winners each week. So what are you waiting for? Thanks a Million, only at Live Casino, Route 30 at Westmoreland Mall. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Chris Parker Jr., what's going on at Auto Lane Hyundai?
0% financing is back. How about 0% for 60 months on 2026 all-wheel drive Hyundai Tucsons and Santa Fe? Or HMF bonus cash up to $4,000 on Santa Fe Hybrid. The only thing lower than 0% are the below zero temperatures we've had.
You're right about that.
With great Hyundai financing, over 100 new Hyundais in stock, and affordable vehicles like the 2026 Venue Crossover and award-winning Elantra, it's easy to get away during the Hyundai Getaway sales event.
Any leasing deals?
Lease a 26 Elantra SE for $199 per month, or 26 Kona SE Crossover for $219 a month. Just see us for details.
Plus Hyundai Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection, 5-year unlimited miles roadside assistance. Auto Lane Hyundai, 25 East Fayette Street, downtown Uniontown, or visit their website at AutoLaneHyundai.com.
And remember, you'll always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Casey's Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown and owned by the Vernon family, wants you to know they have new hours. Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come on into Casey's and check out their new menu ideas and entrees. They could also cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126. Casey's, the best in Fayette County.
This is Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Famer Coach Dick LeBeau. You're listening to the Sports Line with George Von Benko on WMBS.
A very timely bumper returning from a commercial break. That guy, Dick LeBeau, is going to join me at 11:30 here on the Sports Line to break down Super Bowl 60 between the Seahawks and the Patriots. Stay tuned for that. Let's go back to the phone lines. Take another call this morning. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Hi, George.
Hi.
I wanted to talk about the Pirates. I recently found out one of our better pitchers, Johan Oviedo, was traded to the Red Sox.
Yes, that was quite some time ago, actually. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Oviedo is 6'6", 275, throws the ball in the high 90s, and he's shown a lot of great promise when healthy. I wanted to know if we got back some big-time prospects or a couple of stiffs.
No, they got one of the top prospects out of the Red Sox system, the outfielder, Broxton, I think is his last name. He's Latin American, and they also got a promising young pitcher, I believe, back in that deal. But the key to the deal was the guy that we got, the outfielder, who's probably the number 2 or 3 prospect in the Red Sox system.
Oh, that doesn't sound too bad.
Well, Oviedo, they've got a wealth of pitching, the Pirates do. They needed some help in the outfield, and they're banking that this guy's ready to make things happen in the majors, you know.
Believe it or not, the future for the Pirates looks pretty good. I got the recent issue of Baseball America, and there were quite a few prospects we had that were rated in the top 100. I was pleasantly surprised.
They've had that before, but they still need to, on the field for the Major League Club, they need a third baseman. They need another outfielder. They could use another arm in the bullpen. They've got great pitching, but they're going to waste it again if they have to start. I'm not against Triolo. I think he is what he is. He's a backup infielder, a utility infielder, but he's not a legitimate third baseman. He doesn't have the power to play third base, and if they have to start him at third base, I think everything that they've done is just going to be leading to another season, maybe just above 500, and they're going to waste all that good pitching again.
Okay, that's all I got, George.
Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Moving on, let's take another call here this morning on the Sports Line. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Good morning, George. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, a little bit of snow, but we need some, I guess. We were running out there for a while.
I could do without it, but that's okay.
Hey, I've got a story for you. You mentioned last week about Coach Hodge at WVU doing a wonderful job.
Mm-hmm.
And, I got a story for you. Okay, on December 22nd, my son and grandson traveled from Carlisle to see my grandson's first ever Mountaineer game at the Coliseum. And so we got there early, and we went to the Hall of Fame, and nobody else was in there. And here comes Coach Hodge walking through, and he walks up to us and goes, "Hey, guys, how you doing?" And we were like flabbergasted because, it's the coach. And my grandson was like speechless. He didn't know what to say. But anyway, we talked to him for a while, and we went over to the game. After the game, you know how Tony Caridi will interview the coach?
Yeah, he'll interview the coach after the game, yeah.
Yeah, so we went down. We were in the second row behind Tony Caridi. And here comes Coach Hodge, and he's mouthing the word. He's waving at my grandson. He's going, "Hi, Levi," but you could read his lips, okay? And that again, Levi, he was amazed because the coach, he's telling him hello. So anyway, he talked about the game a little bit and everything, and he talked about how there was a lot of other things going on. That was Christmas week. It was December 22nd, but the crowd was still good. And he says, "That's what I like about Morgantown." He says, "People really come out." He says, and then he goes, "That's like my buddy Levi sitting over there." And he mentioned his name, and he said, his dad told me, I'd met him before the game, he was fully clothed at 7 o'clock this morning, had his Mountaineer jersey on, and his coonskin, he was ready to go.
Well, I've interviewed Coach Hodge when he took over and spent some time with him, and he is a class act. I enjoyed my conversation with him. And I think, you know, when you consider that this is their 4th coach in 4 years.
Yeah, for sure.
And they had to rebuild the roster from scratch once again, I think he's doing a pretty good job. Yeah, there are some bumps in the road, but you're going to expect that. But they're sitting right now at 15-8 and 6-4 in the Big 12. And they have a huge game tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. at the Coliseum against 13th rated Texas Tech. Huge game.
Yeah, but anyway, that was my story I wanted to tell you. And we told my grandson, now Levi, every time you come to the Mountaineer game from now, it's not going to work out this way. Everything just sort of fell in place this time, you know. But anyway,
he's expecting to hang out with the coach all the time now. You know.
We're going to go back to the BYU game here in a couple of weeks, so we're going to see what happens. But I told him, you know.
Well, that's going to be another telltale game for West Virginia. That's going to be a tough matchup as well. BYU is very good. Yeah.
But George, thank you for listening.
All right, no problem. Thank you for the story.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
And that frees up both of our phone lines. About 7 minutes left in hour number 1. Great time for you to jump in to the Sports Talk right now. Wide open board. You should have no problems getting through. Pick up the phone. Dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. 724-438-4593. That number again, 724-438-4593. As we move down the home stretch here in hour number 1 on the Sports Line. And let's go right back to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Hi there, George.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, I got a quick Mickey Lolich story for you.
Okay.
I called and I told you about this several years ago when the subject happened to be at how short the starting pitchers pitch anymore, not like the old days.
Yeah.
I was a young boy watching a network game. It was a Saturday night game of the week or Sunday night game of the week or something like that. And this is going way back, maybe early 70s even, you know what I mean? And Mickey Lolich was pitching. They were showing the Tigers. And the thing that's why it sticks in my memory is I can remember they were well into extra innings, George, and Mickey Lolich was still pitching.
Oh, that was not uncommon back in those days. You know, one of the greatest games in baseball history was, I think, I'm trying to remember the exact number of innings, but it was astronomical, like 18 innings. Both starting pitchers, Juan Marichal and Warren Spahn, were still in the game. And
one of the reasons I remember that is I remember the broadcasters saying, "Oh, it's getting so late. They might have to suspend the game and pick it back up again tomorrow because the fans have to get home because of the Detroit City curfew."
They had a curfew. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember. Exactly what happened, what transpired, if they finished the game or not, or anything like that. But Mickey Lolich, he was a tosser. You know, some of these left-handed pitchers, especially the ones that are a little on the heavy side, They just seem to have that easy delivery where they just loft the ball in. You know, Roberto Colon is another example, you know.
Well, Lolich was a consummate pitcher. He was not a thrower like a lot of today's pitchers are. He commanded the strike zone. He had a repertoire of pitches. And I told a caller earlier the story that Jim Palmer told about playing Lolich and the Tigers when the Orioles were really, really good.
Yeah.
And they went back and looked at the film after the game of Lolich's performance because he pitched a great game against the Orioles. And that was the lineup that, you know, had Frank Robinson and Brooks Robinson and Boog Powell and all those guys.
Oh, yeah.
And they looked at the pitches that Lolich threw. Only 2 of his pitches were center cut in the center of the plate. Mm-hmm. Everything was up and down, out and in. He was a consummate pitcher.
Working the edges and stuff. Right. Yeah. He was something else. I'm sad to hear about him passing. Of course, it's going to happen to all of us. And
he was 85 years old. Sonny Jurgensen was 91. You know. So.
Mm-hmm. I hardly remember Sonny Jurgensen.
Well, I have fond memory. The first time I ever saw him play was he was playing against the Steelers and he was playing for the Eagles. And he just torched Pittsburgh. I mean, great passer in an era, as I said during the obituary I read for him, in an era where passing was not like it is today. They ran the football back in those days in the NFL, and he led the NFL in passing 5 times.
I just remember him being with the Redskins after he came over to the Redskins, you know. And
that was one of the more famous trades in NFL history. They swapped quarterbacks. Washington sent Norm Snead to the Eagles, and the Eagles sent Sonny Jurgensen to the Redskins. Yeah,
I remember watching this program again when I was a young boy about the fans. It was like an NFL Films little piece, you know, and you know they filmed and interviewed some of the fans going down to Washington, some of the Philadelphia fans going down to Washington on the bus, and filmed some of the fans in the stands and everything like that, and how the game went back and forth. And if I remember right,
the old RFK Stadium used to be a great atmosphere for the Redskins back in the day. Listen, I got to run because I'm up against the news. Thank you for checking in. I appreciate it.
Okay.
You take care.
Bye, George.
Bye-bye. And that puts a capper on hour number 1. Do not touch that dial. Another full hour of sports talk on the way. Dick LeBeau will join me at 11:30 to break down Super Bowl 60 between the Seahawks and the Redskins. The Sports Line being brought to you this morning by my good buddy Tom Vernon and Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown. The Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Come on out and enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. Another full hour of sports talk coming up, but first, we are going to pause for the latest news. It comes your way from the CBS Radio Network, right here on your local station, 590 AM and 101.1 FM, WMBS, Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Allison Keys. The word of the day in much of the Northeast is brr. Dangerously cold temperatures plus snow and high winds are roaring through much of that region and the Great Lakes, thanks to that polar vortex. CBS News meteorologist John Elliott with more.
It's just this Arctic invasion. Millions are under these advisories. It's a 1-2 punch in parts of the Northeast. We've got snow. Some of that's going to accumulate. Whatever hits will stick because it's so cold. These advisories, these speak to wind chill, the potential for wind chills at 35 degrees below zero. Sub-zero wind chills blanketing the East Coast, so keep that blanket handy.
This as parts of the South still don't have electricity after that ice storm nearly 2 weeks ago. Now to the Winter Olympics, where everyone is watching to see what happens with American skier Lindsey Vonn competing with a major injury. CBS's Kelly O'Grady with details.
Lindsey Vonn, a major storyline of this game. She is planning to compete on a torn ACL. She did her final practice run in the women's downhill event, which she will compete in tomorrow. Looked good. She said that she was all good to go after that run down the mountain. And of course, everyone here, all eyes on that race, which will be taking place in Cortina tomorrow.
And there's that other sports thing tomorrow. People are hyped for the battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. But will you make it to work on Monday?
The annual UKG Super Bowl absenteeism survey finds a record 26.2 million employees in the U.S. will miss work on what is now known as Super Sick Monday. That would be nearly 4 million more Super Bowl flu cases than last year. UKG says all those sickouts could cost up to $5.2 billion in lost work and productivity. The firm suggests employers, especially those in Seattle and New England, give their staffs a little leniency Monday. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
President Trump says he isn't sorry about that racist video depicting the Obamas as apes, which was up for hours before it was removed. CBS's Willie James Inman.
The political fallout was swift, with some members of the president's own party calling on him to take down the post and apologize.
You condemn the racist parts of the video? Of course I did.
But the president says he didn't do anything wrong.
We took it down as soon as we found out about it. I didn't make a mistake.
Security is super tight for the 60th Super Bowl. There are no credible threats so far, but more than 35 local, state, and federal agencies have been working for a year and a half to prepare for the big game. There are also barricades, bomb-sniffing dogs, and everyone coming into the stadium will go through a checkpoint. The FAA has banned all drone flights during the game as a precaution. This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Sleep well tonight. Try out a new mattress from Route 21 Furniture with a large selection of mattresses, all sizes and comfort levels, with great prices, free local delivery and setup, and financing options. Route 21 Furniture. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday noon to 4. 724-737-2222 or Route21Furniture.com.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Global insecurity is leading some nations to stockpile food.
Governments from Scandinavia to South Asia are stockpiling food again, treating grain like oil or gas as a strategic asset in an unstable world. Agricultural analyst Facundo Calvo.
I think this is worrying because when everyone, out of fear, stockpile food, it becomes like some sort of self-fulfilling prophecy.
When many countries hoard at once, supplies tighten and drive up prices.
Global markets suffer because as more food is held in reserves, we have less food circulating in global markets.
Economists worry if other countries follow this pattern, there will be a dangerous cascade effect on supply and prices. Brad Gibson for CBS News.
The Chicago Botanic Garden is hosting its 12th annual orchid show. More than 10,000 vivid flowers are on display. The theme is feelin' groovy, and there's even a yellow VW beetle filled with graceful orchids. People thought the colors would help them not feel cold. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Pento Home Care Agency cares about you, your health, and what's best for your family. Pento Home Care is a family-owned and operated home care agency providing the convenience of personal care within your home. They'll work with your family and physicians to come up with the best plan of care for you. Pento offers personal assistance services and accepts all state waiver programs, private insurance, and private pay patients. Pento Home Care Agency has home health care available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and their experienced team of professionals provide expert care. Pento offers hospice care because they know how difficult and overwhelming a terminal illness can be by helping families through the challenging days with dignity and compassion. If you or a loved one need care or are looking for a career as a home health aide, please call them at 724-322-1683 or visit them online at pentohomecareagency.com.
Don't miss out on Economy Furnace's end-of-season sale. It's the perfect time to upgrade your home's heating system with incredible savings. Take $250 off any furnace replacement, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. For qualified buyers, we're offering 0% financing, making it simple to invest in a new energy-efficient furnace. We proudly partner with Amana, bringing you the highest quality furnaces on the market. At Economy Furnace, we define excellence in every aspect of our business, from our expert technicians to our customer-focused approach. With Economy Furnace, it's not just a furnace, it's peace of mind. Our end-of-season sale provides unmatched value, combining affordability with premium quality. Economy Furnace is committed to excellence. Our team of qualified professionals is ready to ensure your home stays warm and comfortable throughout the year. Contact us at 724-438-4575 to learn more.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Wow, your dog looks beautiful. We went to Mutts on Market Street, the dog grooming salon in downtown Brownsville. Samantha has over 10 years dog grooming experience. They work with any dog, any breed, any size.
Didn't it cost a fortune?
No, the prices are great. They offer a full line of grooming and other services.
Mutts on Market Street, now in the new location, 15 Bridge Boulevard in Brownsville at the old Dukeman's Beer Distributor. Same great service for dogs and cats at the same great prices. Mutts on Market Street, now in the old Dukeman's in Brownsville. For more information, visit Mutts on Market Street on Facebook. Well, much cooler temperatures are here, but you could still enjoy your deck or patio with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturer and customer guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Call Lifetime Awnings, 724-554-6067 for a no-cost or obligation home consultation. Or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has two convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borges.
Hi, folks. Your host Sal Santori here on 100% Truth. Join us this week as we visit with Alan Leidick, owner of the Greenberg Newsstand right here in Heartland, Americana. Join us as we talk about our local community and how current proposed legislation could affect all Pennsylvanians and PA industry. We invite you to join us for coffee every Sunday morning at 6, Monday drive at 5:15, and Tuesday start your lunch with us at 11:15.
Your local station, WMBS.
Welcome back on board for hour number 2 of the Sportsline, being brought to you this morning by my good friend Tom Vernon. Casey Sports Cafe, located right here on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville, and by Bogies at Duck Hollow, now under new management. Come on out, enjoy fine dining. Phone 724-439-2150, located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown. George Von Benko with you as we forge ahead into hour number 2, and we continue in the open line mode. Your chance to get up on that soapbox and be heard. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is on the docket. Super Bowl 60 on tap tomorrow. Patriots and Seahawks. We've had some baseball talk about the Pirates, Hot Stove League talk in hour number 1. I'm curious, are you watching or going to watch any of the Winter Olympics? I can recall vividly as a youngster, and this was back when I was in grade school, like 5th, 6th grade, 4th, 5th, or 6th grade. It was almost a nightly thing watching the Winter Olympics with my parents and my sister. And I remember the Innsbruck was where the one I remember most was held way back in the day. But the family would gather around and watch the Winter Olympics. I'm curious whether people do that anymore. I used to watch the Olympics a lot. I don't anymore. I've gotten away from it and very rarely watch. I may tune in to see the hockey a little bit, but that's about it. I don't watch it nearly as much as I used to. And I'm just curious whether you folks watch it or you've gotten away from it. But that's one of our subjects. Give us a call. We've got a wide open board. If you had problems getting through in hour number one, you should have no problems at all getting through. Simply pick up the phone, dial the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. Once again, that number 724-438-4593. And as I said, I'm gazing at a wide open board. So do come ahead with your questions and comments. I'd like to hear your thoughts on whether you watch the Olympics. Also, give me your pick for Super Bowl 60 tomorrow. Tell me who you like in the game. And programming note, we will break down Super Bowl 60 as only a great coach can. One of my favorites, Steelers Hall of Fame defensive coordinator Dick LeBeau will join me at 11:30, and he will give you a breakdown of what he thinks is going to occur in Super Bowl 60 tomorrow in Santa Clara, California, between the Patriots and the Seahawks. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Take our first phone call here in hour number 2. Good morning. You're on the Sports Line.
Yeah, I'm actually watching hockey right now.
Okay, who's playing?
USA's playing Finland in the women's.
Oh, women's hockey. Okay, yeah. But are you a regular watcher of the Olympics or just sort of cherry pick what you watch?
Well, in the winter, I like the bobsledding and the hockey. In the summer, I only watch the wrestling when it's on.
Okay. But you are, you would say that you're a pretty religious follower. You watch as much as you can, you know.
Yep, as much as I can. A lot of stuff's on in the morning, and I work. But
right.
It's.
I don't know what happened to me. As I said, it was almost like a family thing when I was growing up. We'd gather around the TV, and Mom, Dad, and Sis, and we'd watch the Olympics. And for whatever reason, I've just gotten away from it. It just doesn't seem to hold the allure for me that it did. With the exception, I still will tune in for the hockey a little bit, you know.
I'm getting ready for football tomorrow. We'll see what goes on.
Who do you like in the game?
I think the Seahawks look like they're the total package. I think that the Patriots are a team of destiny. And me and my dad have go out and beat each other up over this game. But I tell you right now, I don't think there's a team that's built like they are. The Seahawks are built a lot like the first time that when they played the Steelers and stuff like that. They know how to build teams. And right now, I think just the Patriots are a little bit too young of a team. Like that new quarterback, I wish we had him.
You're talking about the Patriots quarterback?
Yeah.
Drake May.
Yeah,
Drake May. Yeah.
Yeah, Drake May looks good. He looks like the real deal.
I think I think barring injury, he's going to be around putting up some numbers for them for a little while. He's still a very young guy, you know. Yeah.
And he's going to be a Patriot for life, I guarantee you.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you very much for checking in. I appreciate your call.
Hey, one more thing, Mr. Van Benko.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm wondering about a lot of these teams going back into the Whipple. I was watching that, and I guess Uniontown is going to go back, and the couple local teams, Albert Gallatin. I mean, it seemed like they would be one that had the man, what a great year for Albert Gatlin. Real proud of those guys.
Yeah, well,
And,
they're going back.
what do you
It'll be
think?
interesting to see how the WPIL responds to that and whether they do anything to address some of the issues as to why those teams left, or whether they continue to just go their own merry way like they've done in the past and put the schedules together like they've done in the past. I'm going to be watching with much interest. You know.
I'm going to be watching too. I see what goes on.
All right.
But appreciate the call. Love the show.
All right. You take care. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. And let's move on. Take another phone call here in our second hour. Hello. You're on the Sports Line.
Good morning, George. This is Woody from Farmington. I enjoy your show a lot.
Well, thank you very much,
I have
Woody.
two questions for you.
Okay.
I have two questions for you. The first is personal. I went to Uniontown High School and graduated with a young lady named Teddy Von Benko.
That's my
Would
sister.
she be related to you?
That was my late sister.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her real
Well,
name
that's all
was, her
set.
name was Theodora Lynn. She was named after my uncle.
Okay.
Named after my uncle Ted Lasky. And all the kids, though, my mother used to call her Kukla when she was little, which in Greek means doll, and everybody Americanized it into Cookie, and she was Cookie. Yeah.
Oh, all right. That explains that one then. Okay. Thanks, George.
Yeah,
I
but
appreciate
no, my
it.
sister
Okay, now let's-
took her own life back in 2008, and I still have
Oh, God, I'm
I still
sorry to
have
hear that.
a rough time understanding that. I don't
Yeah.
think we're ever meant to understand things like that.
No, that one you can't figure that one out.
Yeah.
No. All right, George. Let's get on to the sports, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Haven't heard anything about NASCAR yet. It's early in the season, but are you going to cover NASCAR at all?
Very little. I'm not a fan. I don't even watch it that much. So rather than try and talk about something that I don't know much about, I usually don't talk about NASCAR. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. You're allowed to.
Well, it's just like
All right, sir, thank you
it's something I never got into. It's really funny. At one time, I was a little bit of a Formula One racing fan.
Oh, yeah. Now there's racing.
And I'm going to tell you why, and you're going to laugh when you hear the reason how I became a fan. Way back, I think it was 1964, I want to say. James Garner starred in a racing film that was directed by John Frankenheimer that was really one of the best racing films I've ever seen made into a movie with its footage and everything and the way they did things. Okay. And it was called Grand Prix. If you ever get a chance, to watch the movie Grand Prix, they used a lot of the drivers from that era. Racing, and the footage from on the streets at Monaco and all of the other places like Clermont-Ferrand and Monza and everywhere. They used footage and they put cameras on the cars, and some of the footage in that film is absolutely breathtaking. But I went to see it at the State Theater, and I really enjoyed it. And I started to fool around a little bit, trying to read as much and watch a little bit if I can. They didn't have a lot of it on TV. Wide World of Sports back in the day would every once in a while put a Grand Prix race on. And my favorite was a guy who was killed at the Nuremberg Ring in Scotland, and that was Jimmy Clark, the great Jim Clark, who drove a Lotus. And at that time... a green Lotus. And at that time, there was a little trend that was starting in the country: slot car racing. And you would buy a slot car, and I bought a Jimmy Clark Lotus and built it.
Oh, wow!
And raced the slot car, and we had a slot car track that was down just below where the police station is right now, one of those buildings up from Jonacors. It was there for a little while, and that's how I sort of became a little bit of a Formula One fan, but that's the only allure that racing has ever held for me.
Oh,
It's amazing how things happen,
It It really is. I had a slot car myself too. I was in.
You remember what kind it was?
It was a. Oh my! It wasn't a Grand Prix. It was one of those low slung coupe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You could add all kind of things. Yeah.
At the time, I was stationed in the Air Force in Plattsburgh, New York, and there was a grocery store that had closed down because there were 3 other grocery stores opened up and put this one out of business.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody bought the grocery store and cleared everything out and put in, I think it was 2 or 3 slot car tracks in that grocery store.
Well, it was quite a trend back then, and just as quickly as the trend developed, it sort of went away. And believe it or not, somebody told me, and I'm not quite sure where. Somebody told me there's still a slot car track here in Uniontown, someplace.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I never looked it up, but somebody said yes, there is one. And I remember vividly going to a hobby shop. And I bought an Aurora model. Remember Aurora models?
Sure, absolutely.
I bought an Aurora model, and that was how I built my slot car, the Jimmy Clark Lotus. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's interesting. With those, too, you could soup up the engines. You know?
You could do a lot of things.
You could sand the brushes on them and move the magnets in closer to the rotors and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, but I had a lot of. But that's how I got into Formula One racing. If you ever get a chance to watch that film, believe me, if you're a racing fan, you will be enthralled.
Grand Prix, right?
Yeah, Grand Prix. You will be enthralled with the footage that they put together.
I'll definitely watch that.
Yes. All right. You take care.
Okay, George. Thanks much. Take care now. Bye. We'll listen to you. You bet.
Oh, by the way, you didn't tell me, who do you like in the Super Bowl?
Say again?
Who do you like in the Super Bowl?
In the Super Bowl. You know what? This is embarrassing. Who's playing?
New England and Seattle.
Oh, Seattle, definitely.
Okay. All right.
The Seahawks.
Yep. Thank you for your call.
Have a good one.
All right. Take care.
Yep.
Bye. And that frees up both of our phone lines. Dick LeBeau, Hall of Fame defensive coordinator Dick LeBeau, will join me at the bottom of the hour at 11:30, and we are going to break down the matchup in Super Bowl 60 between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. Stay tuned for that. We can stick in another call or two before I get to LeBeau. Lines are wide open. Do come ahead with your questions and comments. Call the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. That number again, 724-438-4593. Wide open board. You should have no problems getting through. We can put in a couple of more calls before I take a break and get to our look at Super Bowl 60, the matchup between the Seahawks and the Patriots. And who better to break it down than Hall of Fame defensive coordinator Dick LeBeau, the former Steelers defensive coordinator. He will join me at the bottom of the hour at 11:30. But as I said, time to get in another call or two. Come ahead with your questions and comments. Tell me about whether you watch the Olympics. Tell me who you like in the Super Bowl. Anything and everything pertaining to the world of sports is on the docket. Call that number, WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. We got a wide open board, 724-438-4593. 724-438-4593. By the way, a big weekend in college basketball. We're coming down the home stretch in college hoops. Pitt, which is having a horrendous season, and I just wonder what's going to happen with their coach, Jeff Capel. The Panthers are playing at 2 p.m. today at the Peterson Event Center. They host SMU. SMU's 15-7 overall, 4-5 in the ACC. Pitt 9-14, 2-8 in league play. Duquesne coming off a huge win, knocking off George Mason, only giving them their third loss of the year last Wednesday, 71-65. Duquesne hosting GW today at 2 p.m. at the Cooper Fieldhouse. It's GW 13-10 and 4-6 in the Atlantic 10. Duquesne also 13-10, 5-5 in the Atlantic 10. Tomorrow, West Virginia playing host in a huge Big 12 game to Texas Tech. Red Raiders 13th rated in the country, 16-6 overall, 6-3 in the Big 12. West Virginia 15-8 overall, 6-4 in the Big 12. That is a 1 p.m. tip-off at the WVU Coliseum. And Penn State, in the midst of a miserable season, will host USC tomorrow at noon. The Trojans are 17-6, 6-6 in the Big Ten. Penn State, meanwhile, 10-13 overall. The Nittany Lions are 1-11 in the Big Ten. Okay, we're going to get a break in, and then when we come back, we will break down Super Bowl 60 with the one, the only, former Steelers Hall of Fame defensive coordinator Dick LeBeau. We'll chat with Coach LeBeau right after this timeout.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or
Hi, come on in. How are you?
For personal, professional health care you can trust, see Dr. Paul Hardley and nurse practitioners Tara Bozek, Jessica Reckhart, and Stacy Morris, proudly serving our community for over 30 years. Need care today? Walk-ins are always welcome. For your primary care, call Dr. Paul Hartley at 724-437-1109 or visit ppcp.org.
Or
serving number 3,940.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
Chris Parker Jr., what's going on at Auto Land Hyundai?
0% financing is back. How about 0% for 60 months on 2026 all-wheel drive Hyundai Tucsons and Santa Fe? Or HMS bonus cash up to $4,000 on Santa Fe Hybrid. The only thing lower than 0% are the below zero temperatures we've had.
You're right about that.
With great Hyundai financing, over 100 new Hyundais in stock, and affordable vehicles like the 2026 Venue Crossover and award-winning Elantra, it's easy to get away during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Any leasing deals?
Lease a 26 Elantra SE for $199 per month, or 26 Kona SE Crossover for $219 a month. Just see us for details.
Plus Hyundai Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection, 5-year unlimited miles roadside assistance. Autoland Hyundai, 25 East Fayette Street, downtown Uniontown, or visit their website at autolandhyundai.com.
And remember, you'll always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
NovaCare Rehabilitation in Uniontown is accessible for all of your recovery needs. New at NovaCare is pelvic floor physical therapy, a specialized program to treat patients with pelvic floor dysfunction related to bladder, bowel, sexual function, and pregnancy postpartum. These issues can affect both women and men and include urinary frequency, urgency and incontinence, pelvic pain, constipation, IBS, menopause, painful periods, and more. Call 724-437-0556 for an appointment in Uniontown. Personalize your care with NovaCare. In 1986, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville was started with a promise to provide clients with truthful, friendly, and courteous service. It worked. With an expanded client base, the Firestone Insurance Agency's customers are now able to choose from over 20 well-known insurance companies. So whether it be auto, home, business, or life, Firestone has you covered, and the promise to provide truthful, friendly, and courteous service is still in place. As an independent insurance agency, the Firestone Insurance Agency works for you. They do the shopping for you to save you time and a bunch of needless phone calls. Because let's face it, no one loves to shop for insurance. Call the office at 724-455-3900 or visit firestoneinsurance.net. Can't make it to Normalville? Let the Firestone Insurance Agency bring service right to your kitchen table. The Firestone Insurance Agency, 724-455-3900 or firestoneinsurance.net. Doing what is right for the customer, finding the most affordable rates while making sure there are no coverage gaps so you are fully protected from the unforeseen.
Are delinquent credit cards, medical bills, and personal loans stressing you out? Are you unable to catch up? Are the debt collection calls just too much? If yes, then call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200. Zebley Law provides free in-person consultations. Then, using our decades of experience, we recommend a plan for relief. Before hiring a debt relief company or an out-of-town bankruptcy firm, call the local law firm serving Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties since 2001. Call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200.
Hi, this is Penguins broadcaster Phil Bork, and you're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And welcome back to the Sportsline tomorrow at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Super Bowl 60. Seattle Seahawks, New England Patriots. We're going to break down the game for you right now, and I'm going to welcome in my good friend, Hall of Famer Dick LeBeau, former defensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's also in the Steelers Hall of Honor. And who better to break down the matchup between the Patriots and the Seahawks than a great defensive coach? Coach LeBeau, welcome to the Sportsline. How are you, my friend?
Well, I'm doing pretty good, George, and I hope the same is true with you. And it's very good to have made it through to another Super Bowl event coming up tomorrow. And I'm honored to be a guest on your show, my good friend. I want to thank you for that opportunity. Letting me pinch hit for our old buddy, Tom Donahoe, who both of us admire and respect, was great. I also want to say hello to my old pal, Bill Triacco, who's over there in western Pennsylvania. He's one of the original Steelers, actually. And all the players that I had the honor to coach that stayed around in western Pennsylvania. There's quite a few. I'm sure they'll be listening to you today, George.
Well, Super Bowl 60 is a rematch, 11 years in the making. And we all remember the last time these two teams got together, particularly that disastrous play on the goal line.
Well,
the interception
they maybe should have gave it to that running back who wasn't
too
bad.
Marshawn Lynch. In fact, I am still shocked that they did not give it to the stud running back.
Well, having been a coach in the National Football League for 45 years, George, I'm very hesitant to second guess anybody, and I'm sure they had a reason for throwing the slant pass. They probably thought that that was the play to call at the time. And you don't get a second chance in the competitive athletics. You got to call the play that's coming up right now, and win or lose or draw, it's out there, and you got to play the next down. Well, in that particular instance, there really wasn't a next down. That was the play that decided the game.
Before we get into the Super Bowl too much in depth, I don't want to be morbid, but I always do sports obituaries at the beginning of my show. And this week I was struck, I knew all three guys, and I'm willing to wager that along the way you knew all three of them too. Two were football contemporaries. Clendon Thomas, the former defensive back for the Steelers, passing away at age 90. The great Sonny Jurgensen, the quarterback, passing away at 91. And having spent all those years in Detroit, I seem to think you may have crossed paths with a former Detroit Tiger great by the name of Mickey Lolich.
Oh yeah, I knew all those guys.
Yeah, it makes you feel old when you see those guys passing away. It tells you you're getting older, Coach.
I was just going to say that's just where we are in the age column, pal, and we're blessed to have had associations with many of those great sports figures. I always like to tell one story about Jurgensen. He had a tremendously strong arm.
Mm-hmm.
And I have always just joked with him when haven't seen him for a long time, but for a while we overlapped quite a bit. And I'd say, we made your career, the Detroit Lions, who I played for. In those days, we played 6 preseason games, and you played your way into shape. So the starting team, played the majority of the preseason games, and we were playing. In those days, they scheduled games all around the country. And I imagine the league was kind of looking for expansion areas and how well they would be received in different areas of the country. I don't know. I wasn't quite at that pay level. But anyhow, we were playing Washington in North Carolina. And it was early in the fourth quarter, and I got an interception and took up off the sideline. And Sonny came over to get the tackle, and my linebacker that played in front of me over there was a guy by the name of Wayne Walker, who went to several Pro Bowls. He was a great player, big guy, and he whacked Sonny and knocked Sonny's shoulder out of joint. And he missed most of that season. But when he came back, he had a different throwing motion. He had kind of a sidearm throwing motion because of that injury that he received from that play. And it just made him unstoppable. He was so accurate with the ball. And half the time before he got hurt, the ball was going so fast, even his guys couldn't catch it. So I always told Sonny that we made his career
right,
by Wayne hitting him over there on the sideline. It was just a clean block, and it just happened that way. But he was a great player and a great guy. And the running back there that played defensive back for Pittsburgh, I think, when he from Oklahoma.
Clinton Thomas was at Oklahoma, played for Bud Wilkinson. Yeah,
he was a great running back, too. I thought he'd be a running back.
Well, he did play a little bit in the pros, but mostly as a receiver. He had 60 receptions, but he was an All-American, and I remember him very well back in those days with the Steelers. The 2 cornerbacks were Clinton Thomas and Brady Keys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Keys was a good player, too. I remember those guys.
Yeah.
I met Clinton Thomas and had a nice conversation with him. They were coming up to play, I think, the University of Pittsburgh, to be honest with you. And they stopped in Columbus and asked Woody Hayes if they could work out in our
stadium
practice facility. And they did. And, of course, a lot of us Buckeyes went out to watch them work out. And the guy you read about on that team all the time was Clinton Thomas. So he was big. He was really big for a running back. He was a big guy.
So
I knew those guys. I really did.
So looking at Super Bowl 60, as a defensive coach, I think you've got to admire both these teams. My goodness, I was looking at some of these defensive numbers. Seattle is just off the charts with some of the things that they have done. They really have been playing well. The Patriots, actually, their defense really has been the reason for their Super Bowl run. They're allowing 209.7 yards per game, 138.3 passing, and giving up just 2 passing touchdowns. But you've got 2 defenses, coach, that are playing at a very high level.
Well, I think this is kind of a unique Super Bowl, really, because the one constant with these 2 teams, if you go run the show back to the beginning of the season, neither one of these teams were getting picked to be maybe not even in the playoffs, but for sure not to be running far into the playoffs and qualifying for the Super Bowl. And I think it's going to make it one of the better Super Bowls because of the interest. And we don't know these teams quite as well as we do the standard, Rams and the Eagles, the Bills, the guys that keep getting in there. Kansas City, they're nowhere to be seen. And we've got 2 characters here that are playing definitely the leading roles. And as the season progressed and advanced, you begin to say, well, maybe these guys are going to be the ones that make it all the way. And darned if it didn't turn out that way. And I think that's going to enhance, although the Super Bowl does not need an enhancement in terms of national interest. But I think there's going to be more people interested in it because of that situation. We don't know these teams that well. We don't know the individual players that well.
Well, I got to admit, Coach, I really did not give Seattle their just due during the season. I consistently underrated them. And I've gotten away from that right now because I'm looking at them. I'm looking at them right now, and I said, "Well, that defense is for real. It really is for real."
What I used to like to say, I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. When they keep doing it every week, I can see what's going on statistically. I think that both of these teams are kind of mirror images of each other. I really do. I think that they're very, very sound in all three aspects of the game. I think their kicking games are good. Their defenses are very, very solid. And really, the way the game is played today, to get to and into and through the playoffs, you got to score points. And so it's kind of an offensively tilted game. But you cannot win consistently without a defense that can perform consistently. And that's what you've got in both of these teams. I think they're excellently coached. They've done a great job of building balance in their teams. And to me, I see some people that are picking this and picking that. I guess Seattle's a little bit favored by the gamblers. But some people are saying that Seattle's going to win by a pretty good margin. I don't see that because these teams have not been separated from by anybody, and I don't see it being too much different in the Super Bowl.
As you look at the game, naturally, there's going to be a lot of focus, as there always is, on the two quarterbacks. And both are interesting cases. Sam Darnold was a high draft pick. He didn't do well in New York with the Jets. He bounced around, sort of found himself in San Francisco, went to Minnesota, had the great year last year, and then stumbled in the playoffs. And then Seattle took a chance on him and picked him up. And boy, what a season Sam Darnold has had. He really has.
Well, he's not a surprise. I mean, he's always been a high-rated guy, and he hasn't always had the best surrounding cast with him. And sometimes it just takes athletes, the same as people in other walks of life, a little while to figure out exactly what they have to do at the level they're competing at to be successful. And I think by no means can you say that Sam Darnold hasn't figured it out, because he's quick with the ball, he's accurate with the ball, he's tough, and he's a great competitor. Plus, it's always good to have a guy on your team. And I think if either one of the teams has any decided advantage, the Seattle Seahawks have the older roster. Mm-hmm. They have, guys like Kupp that have been in a lot of locker rooms and in a lot of football games. And the quarterback is definitely more experienced. And the Super Bowl game is as much hype and everything that goes on. There is a tremendous amount of excitement and tension around the game. And I think sometimes it can be a little overwhelming on younger players. So just going by age of the competitors, that is, I think, Seattle's best advantage in this game. That's my own personal opinion. And we'll see how it plays out. But I think the game's going to be close, and I think it will be decided in the crucial moments later in the game. And that's when your most veteran players most generally come through with the game-winning plays.
Well, Drake May, what a season that young man has had. And it looks like, New England had Brady for all those years, and then they went through a spell where Brady was gone, and they were trying to find him. So, isn't it? It looks like they found themselves a quarterback, Coach.
Well, I followed him from college in North Carolina, and whenever I got a chance to watch him play, I watched him because of him. And he's not a surprise to me. He's got great size. Nobody talks about his running ability, but he can hurt you with his legs. And he's just throughout his national career, that is, getting up to college where people can hear about him and see what his team's doing. He's been a consistent winner all the way through. And he's going to do well in any situation that he gets in. And I don't think that either team is going to win because their quarterbacks don't play well. I think they're both going to play well. That's my opinion.
New England has had a pretty good running game with Stevenson and their guys. I really, really have been impressed and like the Seattle Seahawks running back. I think Kenneth Walker's a pretty special back.
I couldn't agree more with you on that, and that's another one of the pluses. I think that they have. They ran the ball very, very effectively. Both teams' defense are very, very reliable, and that's why I think it's going to be a close, hard-fought game. And a lot of times these types of games come down to a good bounce in the fourth quarter, that decide the final total. So everybody should be pretty anxiously looking forward to this. I don't see. Some people are saying that Seattle can dominate, but I don't see either one of these teams walking away from the other. I just don't see it.
Well, I'm hoping you're right. More often than not, sometimes the Super Bowl has turned out to be not as good a game as people would like it to be. We've had some clunkers in the past, but I got a feeling you're right. I think this is going to be a very hotly contested game. And as always, and how many times have you told me, if you make mistakes, that's the determining factor. Turnovers are going to be a huge factor in this game.
Well, usually, when you're talking about two good football teams, but you cannot get to the Super Bowl without having two good football teams, the games are not won as much as they are lost. And that's just another way of saying what you phrased, and that is the mistakes are going to cause you to lose the game. Not particularly a great play that the other team made, but the boner that your guys made. So, but the thing is, with both of these teams, they're very well coached. They don't put the ball on the ground a lot. They don't throw a lot of interceptions, and consequently, they're where they are. And I think defensively, they're both resilient, and they just week after week they play very good defense.
You mentioned early in our conversation an area that sometimes gets overlooked a lot of times. There are three phases of the game, I always say: offense, defense, and that third phase, which can sometimes turn a game, special teams. And you said both teams are pretty solid special teams-wise.
They're excellent, I think. And, again, they're not rookies. Their kickers are experienced guys that are more likely to step up there and make the crucial kick for you.
So one of the things that I was looking at, and what a charge he's put into the Seahawks after he was acquired, Rashid Shaheed made a big catch in the game against the Rams, but he has given them a real boost as a kick returner.
He's fantastic, and that's an element of the game that can really be a huge asset in terms of winning the game and not necessarily losing the game. If you can get field position or points off of your special teams, percentage-wise, you're going to win the football game. And I used to be a stat freak, and I would quote those to the guys every week. And if you score on defense or special teams, the odds are very, very heavy on the football team that does that. And if you follow the game the way we have over our lives, you'll find that that's an accurate statement.
So break it down and put it in a nutshell for me. If you're picking a team that you think is going to come out on top, who do you give the edge to?
Well, I'm again, because of the age column in the program, I'm going to go with the more experienced team, which is Seattle. But I'm going to stay with the point spread, which is, I think,
4.5. Yeah.
3.5, 4.5.
4.5 points. Seattle's favored by 4.5.
That might even be generous, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a fourth quarter game. You know, the huge percentage, I follow the league every week and try to look a little bit at the games and the matchups. And most of the NFL games come down to the fourth quarter. Yes, you get the one that gets opened up fairly early sometimes, but, you know, there's 32 teams playing pretty near every week. So I think that because the NFL games in general come down to the fourth quarter, if you look at all the Super Bowls played, you'll find that most of them were very winnable in the fourth quarter by both teams. And I think this is going to fit in that category. And I'm going to take the more experienced team, and that's my only reason that I'm picking that. And that comes from years of watching NFL football. That's what I say. And I also will say they play the game because no one really knows who's going to win it.
Exactly.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to watch and see who wins it.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching it. I think it's going to be an enjoyable game. I'm hoping for an enjoyable game, and I'm planning on being seated right in front of the TV set watching it. Now, before I let you go, I would be remiss. We had a change in Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin stepping down after all those years. My question to you coached under Mike. Were you surprised that he stepped down like he did? And I think you know Mike McCarthy. What do you think of Mike McCarthy as a coach?
Oh, I think he's an excellent coach. He's had a lot of good success, a lot of good experience. Most of coaching is your own personal experience and learning from your mistakes, like it is for anybody that does any job.
Mm-hmm.
And that first or second year you're on that job, you're probably not going to be as good at it as if you've been on it for 20 years. And I think that McCarthy certainly has the experience and the track record to know what to do. I also think that the Steelers roster is pretty strong, and like most NFL teams, a couple of players in the right area can make a whole lot of difference. And I just remembered, I remember the first Super Bowl that I ever coached in. We played, I was coaching for Cincinnati then, and we played the San Francisco 49ers with some guy named Joe Montana, and we had Kenny Anderson.
Yeah.
Both teams the year before only won 3 football games. Both teams had appeared in the Super Bowl that year, which was decided by a very close margin in the fourth quarter. But my point being, the teams can change dramatically in one off season. And I think we've seen that with the 2 competitors that we have in this game this year.
So this offseason is going to be a very interesting one for your Steelers.
Well, I think it's true there, and it's true for all the teams, because most of the NFL rosters are strong enough that if they can get 2 or 3 people in the right spot that are game needle movers, they're going to be right where Seattle and New England is right now this year. And nobody nowhere could you go in August and hear people saying, "Oh, I think New England's going to be in the Super Bowl this year," or Seattle for that matter. So I think that, of course, I'm very optimistic for the Steelers. I think that we get a couple breaks and get a couple spots filled in there that can put us over the top, that we'll be right back winning those playoff games this year.
You mentioned the name, and you coached when he was playing for Cincinnati. I was a little disappointed once again that Kenny Anderson fell short for the Hall of Fame. I think, in my opinion, he's a Hall of Famer coach.
Yeah, I thought he was going in this year. All we'll do is just keep my fingers crossed and hope.
And the other guy, of course, and I have a real soft spot for him, but I watched him play. I talked to him a lot. I knew him well. I think L.C. Greenwood's a Hall of Famer, too.
No doubt. Yeah. The thing about the Hall of Fame, George, is there are so many worthy candidates. And you just can't put everybody in there.
Right.
And I know that even before I ever got in there, people would say to me, "Well, Dick, don't you think that your record warrants that you've done enough that you should be in there?" And I would say, who goes around saying I should be in the Hall of Fame? You know? You just don't do that.
Well, Coach, I really,
go ahead.
I really appreciate your time. You've always been so kind to me. I've marked it down. You're going with the Seahawks. Thanks for coming on, and we'll be talking soon. I want to remind everybody, the book that Scott Brown and I helped you write is still on sale out there at Barnes & Noble and Amazon. Legendary. If you're looking for a good football book, pick it up. Coach, love you, brother. Take care, and we'll talk soon.
Go Steelers, baby.
Okay, take care, Coach. Dick LeBeau. We'll be back and wrap things up right after this.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
At Live, we want to say thanks to our community with our biggest giveaway yet. Thanks a Million free slot play giveaway. Join us every Friday in February for your chance to win a share of $1 million in free play, including a grand prize of $25,000 in free play. You could be one of 10 winners each week. So what are you waiting for? Thanks a Million, only at Live Casino, Route 30 at Westmoreland Mall. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Chestnut Ridge Christian Academy, we learn, laugh, and grow together.
We shine in academics.
We serve others and keep Christ at the center.
With small classes.
Caring teachers.
School feels like family.
Registration opens in March. Join us for our open house on March 19th or schedule a tour anytime.
Come meet our teachers, see our classrooms, and discover what makes CRCA such a special place.
Visit crcapa.org or follow us on Facebook for more information.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Belle Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Belle Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
This is Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Famer Coach Dick LeBeau. You're listening to the Sportsline with George Von Benko on WMBS.
And that puts a capper on this edition of the Sportsline. Arnie Amber and Oldies Unlimited coming up next. George Von Benko saying so long. This is 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS, Uniontown, Pennsylvania.